What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right. So before I get into this video, I want to give a big shout out to the man, the myth, the legend, Robert Mason, coming through with the $10 donation via the PayPal. Much respect to him for showing love to Too Raw for TV, aka Too Raw for Sports. And I saw your note, and most definitely I'm going to be talking about that clown Herschel Walker tomorrow, and how it's amazing that 49% of Georgia chose to vote for him. I mean, I'm sorry. If you think that he's qualified to be a senator, man, we have really sunk to new lows for expectations. No wonder there's so many unhappy people in the world. But Mr. Trump, what happened? I mean, besides from the fact that you chickened out and didn't announce your run for the presidency the other day when it was leaked that you were going to do so. But what happened to this cascading red wave that we were supposed to see last night? It was more like a trickle that could be concealed by the smallest of tampons. It was embarrassing. As a matter of fact, Joe Biden, his incompetency, the incoherent one, he who cannot string together two complete sentences in a row without drifting into nonsensical phrases. He had the best first midterm showing for a president, the first midterm showing for a president since 1962. John F. Kennedy. This same guy that has lower approval ratings than Donald Trump did at the same time back in 2018, when there was a blue wave. Republicans, I don't know what happened. Well, I do kind of know what happened, just on the surface. Now, there's other little things I could talk about. You know, maybe it wasn't such a smart thing to support Dobbs and overturn Roe versus Wade. You know, that's part of it. But what is something I told you guys several months ago that I think was going to hurt the Republicans? It's great early on to nominate in the primaries the candidate that is very popular amongst your base. But it's more important strategically to nominate candidates that can pull in other voters, some disaffected Democrats, for instance, like us, independents, swing voters that, sometimes vote Democratic, sometimes vote Republican. That's the way that you win a general election. Not voting in the primaries for these extreme right-wing, delusional, conspiratorial Trump nuts, and then think they're going to all win elections. Doesn't work like that. And one by one, all of these candidates have toppled. In the polls, Carrie Lake was supposed to win by 5 or 6 points. Last I checked, she's trailing. What is her name? Kathy Hobbs, whatever, in Arizona. Dr. Oz, who had overtaken Fetterman in the polls the last week and a half, still lost. And from what I just read, 14 Trump-backed candidates have lost. At least 14, and that number is expected to rise. So, if you're Donald John Trump, your stock within the Republican Party has taken a tumble. What bragging rights do you have? Oh, and by the way, they're already crying about election fraud. This shit gets old, ladies and gentlemen. Look, I watched the election last night like you guys did, most of you at least people who follow this page for politics. I I saw the networks hold off longer than I've ever seen them hold off on making calls. Okay, I did not see biased network coverage outside of Fox News. By the way, CNN tried to do their best to be fair. You know, a lot of times you listen to them, they were cheerleading. They were trying to not cheerlead Democrat or Republican. All right? So I give Fox trying to be fair, even though we know they're still biased for the liberals, for the Democrats at least. But nobody wants to hear that shit anymore. Nobody wants to hear you say, oh, well, there's no signs of election fraud. And then immediately when shit don't go your way, oh, I cry election fraud. I don't hear that shit, man. Take your L like a fucking... Take your fucking L's. And Donald Trump, you fucking lost. You goddamn Calvin and Hobbes hair having bitch. Remember Calvin and Hobbes? That comic strip where the little boy had the imaginary teddy bear that to him was to life. Yeah, his hair looked like Calvin's and shit. Grown ass man. Dennis the Menace head ass nigga. Look, man, just go away, man. Go away. It was a disastrous night. This was supposed to be supposedly a red wave, and y'all blew it. Told you, I'm not a Republican or a Democrat. I like anarchy on both sides. I want anarchy. Burn. RNC, burn. DNC, pillage and burn.